Do you also look through their social media files? I mean, because there's some to look for anti-Semitism, for instance, for some of the people who came.
Well, as a matter of general policy, we're unable to comment on specifics of that nature, and so I'm not going to do that from the podium here.
Can I ask you a different? Oh, I just have a totally different question before we get on to the Middle East.
All right.
I had a question on Cuba. The deputy foreign minister is saying that there's no Chinese spy base on the island, and is dismissing some recent satellite images. I just wonder what your assessment is.
We will not talk about intelligence matters from the podium, so at this point, nothing to further to add on that. No comment. Yes.
Thank you, Tommy. Going back to Gaza on the issue of the aid, of course. Now, for all the months before the January 19 agreement, aid was going in, even in the most intensive fighting that occurred over a period of more than a year. Aid was still going in. What has happened since March 2nd until now that disallows the aid to go in? Do we have like a timetable? And isn't it really ironic that the Palestinians, have demand a measure of basic human right, the right to eat, on the day, the 15th of May, which is the 77th anniversary of the catastrophe? We still have to talk and debate whether they have a right to eat or not.
Well, what I can tell you what's happened is there has been this proposal to get aid into Gaza in a creative way that makes sure Hamas cannot steal it. That is what I can tell you has happened, and that the United States has endorsed that effort to get aid in there. So that is what has happened, and what I can also tell you what happened is on October 7th, Hamas coming in, committing atrocities. Hamas bears sole responsibility for this conflict, but as the Secretary just described, we care about the humanitarian situation in Gaza. That's why we have endorsed this measure to get aid in there. That's why we have seen this be a constant topic of conversation here at the podium and elsewhere. And what we are seeing from the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation's announcement is a creative way to get in there and make sure aid is reaching the people that actually need it.
Do we have a timetable for this? I mean, can we say like in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, the aid can go in?
Well, look, what we're looking to is that delivering of aid by the end of the month, but ultimately I refer to the Foundation for more details on the specifics of that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. One follow-up on Gaza, and I will also ask on Syria. Can you provide us more details about who will, fund this new foundation, Gaza Foundation, and what role the U.S. will actually play in the aid delivery?
Well, ultimately, I refer you to the Foundation for more details on the specifics of that nature. As the Secretary has said, we welcome this announcement to get aid in there, but I refer you to the Foundation for more details.
And on Syria, Secretary Rubio meets Syrian Foreign Minister Al-Shaiban and Turkish Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan today in Antalya, Turkey. You just shared a readout of the meeting. Secretary Rubio said right after the meeting that the U.S. Will start with initial waivers instead of fully lifting the sanctions. Can you provide more details on when and under what conditions these sanctions might be fully lifted? And, will the U.S. do anything to contribute to the reconstruction of Syria? Was this discussed during the meeting too?
Look, what I can say, as the Secretary said during those comments, is that this is something that had been discussed, worked on, options considered for many weeks leading up to this announcement, and that we are going to be implementing what the President has announced as an administration. In terms of exact timelines, I have nothing further to preview on that front now, except for to say the fact that we are moving now to implement this announcement, and this was something that was discussed, as the Secretary said himself, for many weeks leading up to this announcement.